So today we're going to discuss the curious case of defensive tackle Jordan Burch and all that's coming up after the bumper.
Don't be cornering me. Hold up. Time. You gotta help me with that corner shit.
What's up, kinfolk? It's RJ Young. I am not on a step. No, consider hitting the like and subscribe button because I upload a video every single day. It's always college football related, sports related. We have a good time. Today, I want to talk about the curious case of Jordan Burch. Jordan Burch, for those of you who do not know, is ranked number 8 nationally as one of the top defensive players and top defensive tackles in the 2020 cycle at 6'5", 275 pounds. He's from the state of South Carolina. And we all expected him to join South Carolina. Why? Because he announced his commitment to South Carolina in the early signing period. Big win for Will Muschamp. We all expected him to sign his papers, join up. He didn't sign his papers. The Underarm All-American game, he said, look, I plan to play with my teammates. It's very important to me that I get to play with friends of mine. It means USC is the move, right? But even before that, Ed Orgeron was making moves on Jordan Burch, as Ed Orgeron does, trying to flip him. Didn't seem like that worked, but after winning a national championship, having a Heisman Trophy winner, Joe Moore Award winner, Biletnikoff Award winner, Paycom Jim Thorpe Award winner, you could see how perhaps his mind might be changed, especially when he knows that he gets to play on this defensive line that's going to have not just Tyler Shelvin returning, but would really use him in 2020, and he would be valuable to them and have an opportunity to repeat as SEC champs and national champs. Not necessarily what you could extend at South Carolina. That said, Will Muschamp was not giving up and did not stop recruiting, right? Now, he's going to take his signing all the way up to National Signing Day. That's what we thought. They had a signing day ceremony. He and his mother, Henry Burch, had some discussions before that. They also had taken a trip to LSU for a visit, and that went well. And what was really interesting about that was that they had not informed South Carolina that they were taking the visit, which you don't have to, but usually that's courtesy. And I've known head coaches that refuse to take commitments or pull offers because after committing, you took a visit. But Burch is a 5-star player, and 5-star players get to make their own rules. So he goes to LSU. Feels like he pulls together a bond with Coach Orgeron and the LSU staff. It's about 500 miles from home, but that doesn't seem to be a big deal. Comes back to South Carolina, takes another official. And they roll out the red carpet. Will Muschamp, by all accounts, is hitting all the right notes. They show up to signing day. That would be yesterday, right? February 5th. And Jordan Burch gives a very unorthodox thank you. Says thank you to all parties involved. Doesn't announce that he is signing with South Carolina, flipping his commitment to LSU. Nothing. Leaving everybody in the dark. Will Muschamp goes back to South Carolina and does signing day press conference, and he's asked about Jordan Burch because he didn't directly say, hey, we have his national letter of intent. He's coming here. So the question became, what's going on with Burch? To which Muschamp said, I don't know. You'd have to ask him. As of this upload on Thursday, the following day, no national letter of intent has shown up at LSU or Clemson, where many people thought he would go, or Alabama or Georgia or any of the other places for which would love to have Jordan Burch join their 2020 recruiting class, which means that I would expect his recruiting to once again ramp up. And I'll explain why it's got some time here. You need 2 signatures on your national letter of intent. You need, if you're under 21, you need yours and you need a parent or guardian. This is why I say that parents are undefeated in recruiting, right? Even the ones that are protesting where their kid wants to go to school, they still sign that national letter of intent because they want their kid to be happy. So when I say it, that's what I mean. Now, whether or not there is a schism between Jordan Burch and his mom, only they can say. But we know that that's part of it. And they're not in any rush. And they don't have to be. Because NCAA rules say you don't actually have to sign your scholarship papers on National Signing Day. You have until April 1st of this year. So there's no calendar that is going to force Jordan Burch's hand. Now, if you're Will Muschamp and you are tired of the runaround, you want to wash your hands of it, that is your prerogative. Many coaches have done that. Matter of fact, Kirby Smart gave this grand speech about taking the guys that want to be here, and that's how he ended up with the number one recruiting class in the country. No. You take the guys that want to be here who are 3 stars, maybe 4 stars. You recruit 5 stars. That's the reason why you had taken Zach Evans and his enormous baggage. Now, at one point you cut bait, but you didn't cut bait before you knew you could get Daijun Edwards or before you knew you could close out this class. You have that luxury. Texas A&M, they're not taking that chance. They still want Zach Evans. Tennessee, they're not taking that chance. They got a top 10 class. They still want Zach Evans. Ole Miss, they can't afford to take that chance. They still want Zach Evans. And you know what? Everybody else still wants Jordan Burch because you need players to win the game. When we find out what Jordan Burch decides to do, I doubt we'll figure out what went on these last 2 months in his recruiting. But I, for one, am fascinated because between him and Zach Evans, we have 2 of the more unorthodox and entertaining recruiting journeys that I've ever seen play out, especially in this age of the internet and social media where it feels like everybody knows something, but really no one knows anything. And your guess is probably just as good as Dabo Swinney's, Will Muschamp's, Ed Orgeron's, Nick Saban's, Kirby Smart's, and the like. I know this, though. When he signs with your team, you're going to forget about all this stuff. You're going to watch him show up. You're going to watch him play great football. And this will be a story that we're telling 3, 4, 5 years from now when he gets drafted. But while we're here, marvel at how these 17-year-old kids, 18-year-old kids can really have you at their beck and call if they are that good. All right, that's it for me. Deuces.